Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. This is United Daily Live, and we are, of course, live to give you the latest Manchester United news, transfer rumours, headlines, all that good stuff, and we'll have a little chat about everything else that comes up as well. Make sure you're hitting that like button, commenting, sharing, and subscribing as well. Help us hit 80k ASAP, and then we'll get right on that track to 100k by the end of the year. So get hitting that subscribe button. We've got plenty to get stuck into today. Inter and United are keen on an Alexis Sanchez deal. There has been talk about a bid being knocked back by Manchester United, but the rumours and the talk is all pretty good in terms of Manchester United getting a deal done for Alexis Sanchez and getting rid of him off our wage bill, even if it means we have to give him a little payoff on the back end of that. There's also talk about Jack Grealish again tonight. United potentially making contact for Lille's Gabriel. He's been linked with the club, but he has been linked with a whole host of other clubs too. James Garner's been linked again with a loan away from Manchester United, and I think this is something that can happen. We've seen Tahith Chong linked with a loan move away from Manchester United in recent weeks as part of that deal for Jadon Sancho, but it looks like we could potentially see James Garner also heading out on loan from Manchester United, and it's a move that James Garner needs, really, isn't it? He's very unlikely to get much minutes for Manchester United. He's a highly rated young player coming through at the club. The only thing we've got to worry about really is him stagnating in the under-23s, which I think can happen to players. We've seen it happen to players over the years gone by. I think Andreas Pereira, Adnan Januzaj were a few of those that got a little bit complacent at under 23 level at certain points in their career. Now it's up to you as a player to keep stepping on first team players' necks and trying to get in that team, but I do think that the under 23s can be a little bit it's not competitive enough for the best of the 23s, and when you're trying to you're in that middle ground of the first team and the 23s. You're too good for the 23s, but you maybe just waiting for your moment in the first team. You can stagnate a little bit, so we need James Garner to be going out possibly on loan, so we'll be looking at those rumours as well. But the talk around Inter Milan, Manchester United, Alexis Sanchez continues to roll on. Now there was talk earlier on today that United had knocked back a bid from Inter Milan, which was around £15 million obligation to buy, but with a loan move first. Now Manchester United knocked that back. It looks like United are not interested in a loan deal for Alexis Sanchez. Now that come from Sport Media Set, who are obviously on Italy and that kind of thing, on that side of things. So United don't want a loan deal. They want to get him off the wage bill. They want to get him out of the club, and it looks like they want a little bit more than 15 million euros. Now his good form for Inter Milan, he's been getting goals and an assist since the coronavirus break, has probably come at a great time for him. He's one of those that's used the pandemic break, as an opportunity to maybe get a little bit fitter, to be doing what Antonio Conte wants, and he's fitting in more now at Inter Milan, and it looks like he could be on his way. Now Man United may, we know we're in and around trying to sign Jadon Sancho. Now we see that when we're trying to sign Jadon Sancho, there's various prices being spoken about, and it looks like that deal is just ticking away now. United know they can get the player. We know we can get accepted terms with him, and we probably know that we can afford him. But what we're going to do is probably try and recoup funds from elsewhere, get rid of some players off the wage bill as well, and just bide our time a little bit with Jadon Sancho. And if we can get this Alexis Sanchez deal done very, very soon, that'll be better for Man United as well. I think Chris Smalling scored today, and we obviously need him to be sold as well. And fingers crossed that can be done in the next couple of weeks as well. United have held back on allowing them to extend their loan so they can play in the Europa League as part of the bargaining chip in terms of getting these deals done, which I think is great for Manchester United. So Alexis Sanchez to Inter Milan looks like a deal that could be on the cards, and his form has been coming at a great time for Manchester United. So let us know what you're thinking about that one, as it looks like a deal for Alexis Sanchez is imminent. Now remember, we're live here on AdamMcKola TV at 10:30 p.m. UK time every single night, so make sure you're joining us. We'll have all the transfer news, rumours, and the latest Manchester United news as well for you guys. So make sure you're getting involved and getting on it. Get hitting that like button, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing, get joining as well if you can. Jacob says Sanchez didn't suit Jose's style at all. Jose gave Sanchez as much chance as he possibly could, to be honest with you. He pushed Anthony Martial out of the team for his benefit, and Alexis Sanchez simply did not deliver. Now, you could say his style probably wasn't good enough. Alexis Sanchez came to Manchester United and he already looked like a player that was overworked and fatigued, and then he came to a Jose Mourinho that wanted him to work hard, do all the defensive bits, track back, do all those kind of things. And it probably wasn't a space in his career, but you look at his performances for Inter Milan at the moment, and Antonio Conte is a very demanding manager as well, as is Jose Mourinho, and Alexis Sanchez is doing it. So maybe it's just a slower paced Italian football that is beneficial to him. We see Chris Smalling flourishing over there a little bit as well, and I think he's benefited from a slower game as well. He's a lot better with a slower game there. Thank you for the super chat, Kyle Martinson. Make sure you're getting your super chats in and you're joining if you can. Ross Murphy says we got carried away with the Sanchez signing that we forgot where he was going to play in our team. Alright, D-Trapo, no one cares. If you want to go watch that, feel free to go watch that. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Sanchez didn't fit Jose's scoring style, says Joe Harb. Waiting for the Spurs Amazon thing, says Taron. Yes, we all are. That's a random comment, but we all are waiting for that. Sanchez has found his level, which is slower than the Premiership, and I think that is a case as well. For those people that are maybe getting fooled into thinking Alexis Sanchez could come back to Manchester United and get involved with United, I don't think that's the case. We just need to get rid. And even if it was the case, his wages aren't worth it. What's he going to deliver for us? He's not going to deliver the kind of deal that we want from a player that's on those kind of wages. Nearly 400 grand a week or 400 grand a week, and he's not going to give us 20-30 goals a season, is he? Which is what you want from someone on those kind of wages. So I just don't see it happening. Don't see it happening at all. So let us know your thoughts on that Inter Milan Alexis Sanchez deal. Looks like that one could be popping off very, very soon. So let us know now what you're thinking about Jack Grealish, Gabriel, and of course James Garner as well. We are going to be getting all that information up and all the latest headlines on that. But right now, let's get a little on this day in the mix. Let me just double check. The date is the 29th of July. We had the Ruud van Nistelrooy one yesterday, which was a bit of a sickener. Today's one, Wednesday the 29th of July, 2009. Manchester United commemorate the 100th anniversary of the club's first FA Cup win as they unveiled their away strip for the 2009-10 season. The kit has a commemorative tag at the side of the shirt and a bold chevron across the chest. What's that? I don't know what that. Bold chevron across the chest, like the design worn by Ernest Magnall's side a century before. The black socks also have a blue chevron. This is an awful on this day. The first choice kit has similar. That is so backwards, but we know which kit it is, don't we? It's the one with that thing down it, which was pretty good kit to be fair. You think of Michael Owen's goal against City in that kit. You think of all those kind of things. Yeah, it's not a bad shirt at all. So that was on this day in 2009-10. Anyway, on this day 22 years ago, David Beckham got another dodgy haircut. David Beckham never had a dodgy haircut. How about that? Should have stuck with Mkhitaryan, says Ross Murphy. Don't know about that one. Is he doing well for Roma at the moment? Maybe he is, but I don't know about keeping with him. I don't know about that one at all. 2010, sorry, what did I say? I hope Levitt and Garner go to clubs where they both play in the Championship together, preferably like local like Preston, Blackburn, Wigan, if the points deduction is overturned. Looks like that points deduction isn't going to be overturned, unfortunately, for Wigan. That's an absolute sickener. You'd think it would have came in for the next season rather than this season, but nevertheless that has happened. But Levitt is a possibility to go out on loan as well, as is James Garner. And Manchester United are believed to be pushing for a loan move for James Garner in the Championship. Swansea could be a good move for him, teaming up with my boy Yandan there. They play good football over there. We need him to go to a place where he's going to be playing regularly, but he's also going to be playing the style of football. We don't want him to go to some hoof merchants at all. Rishi with the super chat says, can Inter afford Sanchez's wages, or do we do a payoff? In the reports that have come out, it's believed United would be doing a payoff. That's probably why we're keen on just getting the deal done. We know that if he goes on a loan deal, we're still going to have to pay his wages for a couple of weeks. We wish. However long he's at there, 6-12 months, however long he's on loan. So if we're paying a percentage of his wages, you may as well just pay him off. Do you know what I mean? And try and get him out of the club anyway, because I just don't think his wage bill, his stature at the club, it fits in. People keep talking about James Rodriguez. Don't really want to see James Rodriguez at Manchester United, to be honest with you. There's been more reports on Jack Grealish in recent weeks as well. Today. There's been loads in recent weeks, but today there's been new reports on him. And a lot saying that there are clubs in and around the Premier League that would be interested in a £50 to £60 million deal for Jack Grealish. But Aston Villa are still holding out for £80 million. Now, Aston Villa ain't getting £80 million for Jack Grealish, no matter who he goes to. Hopefully that is to Manchester United. But I'm less confident of a deal being done for him as I was in, say, January. I thought he was a dead cert to be coming to Manchester United, but I also thought Paul Pogba was going to leave. Now it looks like Paul Pogba is going to be staying, and Aston Villa are staying in the Premier League. So that means they're going to be trying to demand more and more money. They're going to want to invest in more players to replace him, and they're going to have to invest in more expensive players now they're in the Premier League to replace him. So they're going to want to recoup as much funds as possible. They're from a stronger position now they're still in the Premier League. But also, Jack Grealish, we know it's clear he wants to leave Aston Villa. So how much is he going to push for that move? What other clubs are in for him? Is there another club that's going to come in for him and make him their main signing of the summer and say, you're our main man, we want you to be in there? Now, Sky Sports linked Arsenal with him, but Arsenal haven't got the kind of funds to make that deal happen. They just simply haven't got the deal to make the funds to make that deal happen, unless they're going to be paying 10 million every year for the next 6-7 years. Who knows? But they haven't got the kind of funds to make that deal happen. So you think it's probably going to be a Man City, Tottenham, United. Chelsea ain't going to be in with them. When you're looking at the kind of people they're being linked with, it's going to be one of those kind of clubs. Spurs, are they going to be spending much money? Probably not. Dele Alli plays in his position. Of course, I think Jack Grealish gets into that Spurs team. But are they going to have the funds to make that happen? Will Jose want to strengthen elsewhere? They're losing Vertonghen. So the clubs, there's less and less clubs that you think could afford Jack Grealish, especially at that £80 million. So you're looking at maybe one of the two Manchester clubs, and you're looking at that price having to drop a little bit. I think the benefit for United is we've seen the kind of fees that Timo Werner, that Kai Havertz have gone for. We've seen the kind of fees Bruno Fernandes has just gone for. The fee linked with Wilfred Zaha of around 40 to 50 million. So there's no way Aston Villa in this market could demand £80 million, especially when the player wants to leave. And I think we'll start to see Jack Grealish and his agent probably speaking out a little bit in the coming weeks about a potential move away, unless they're speaking about that move away behind closed doors with Aston Villa, and Aston Villa are going to do him a favour. Rishi Kamat, thank you for joining AdamMcKola TV. Get hitting that join button if you can. Get liking the video, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing. We have got 560 plus watching, but we've only got 80 odd likes. So get hitting that like button right now, guys. Ben says, where is Ali actually? Has he been injured or just plop? I'm not sure, but Jose does seem to like him, to be fair. Grealish is worth around 50-60 million, says Ross, and I think that's fair in this market. I think if, we wanted to sign him last summer, Villa just came from the Championship, so maybe not. But if there wasn't any coronavirus and the break and no fans and all that, I think you could demand around 70-80 million pounds for him. Leicester City sold their captain for 80 million to United, centre half, around a similar age. Jack Grealish is an attacking player, so you'd think they could demand that fee, but it's not the same market now. And I think in this market, United, if they bid 50 million for him, they'll get him. I think that. Jay Reedy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. We've just been discussing the Inter Milan Alexis Sanchez rumours. Alexis Sanchez potentially joining Inter Milan. It looks like that deal could be imminent. We're also looking at several clubs potentially being in for Jack Grealish, although no one seems willing to go up and beyond to that £80 million transfer fee mark. And we're also hearing James Garner, is set for a loan to a championship club as well. He's been linked with a loan away from Manchester United, and that would probably be the best move for him. There's also been links with Arsenal, United and various other clubs to Lille's Gabriel, and the reports today, various reports, that there has been contact made by those various clubs with Lille in relation to the player. Now obviously no bids or anything have been made yet. You'd like to think it's a deal United could make happen. You know, Lille ain't going to stand in the way of a player joining Manchester United from their team, and I'm sure he'd want to join United, Arsenal or whoever are interested in him. But interesting story coming out in regards to Lille's Gabriel from John Cross Mirror, saying Arsenal, PSG and Napoli have made contact for the Lille defender. Now United's name could just be being used with this one to smoke out more interest in the player and to get some bids in the player. But United have been linked with him before. Now John Cross seems closer to the I'm not going to say he's the best journalist in the biz, but he seems closer to the Arsenal side of things. So it could be, and you hear about the kind of fees that are involved with potentially making Gabriel your player this summer. It's probably a signing that Arsenal are probably in the market for, although it wouldn't surprise me if United went in at the cheaper end for a centre-half and decided to splash more cash on those players that they needed in the attacking areas. Because whoever comes in at centre-half, they're not going to be first choice straight away. You'd still expect Harry Maguire to be first choice. Lindelof and Bailly are in the queue as well. So they're going to have to fight it out with them. I can't see us signing a centre-half that's going to come in and start every single game. As much as we probably need that, I just can't see that happening. Carl thinks Gabriel is awesome. Party for 50 million is a bargain, says Ross. Unrelated, but what are we thinking about Brentford reaching the playoff final, says Jay Reedy. I wanted Swansea to get through. I wanted Jan to be playing Premier League football. Jan Dander to be playing Premier League football next year. Obviously, he hasn't got through to the final. But Brentford have been fantastic this season. They're a shame they never got promoted automatically. Fell out just at the last hurdle. The last few games, dropped 4 points against teams Stoke and Barnsley that they probably shouldn't have been dropping points against. It looked like they might lose their bottle a little bit after Swansea beat them 1-0 at the Liberty, but great performance by them today, and they'll possibly be the favourites going into the final. But then you do have Fulham in the final potentially as well, who I think will sail through against Cardiff. So it's looking like a Fulham Brentford final, and it wouldn't surprise me if either of them did it. Obviously, that's how great the championship is. Mike Walty says, if you were football director, who would you bring in? Sancho, Grealish, Dale Upamecano and Thomas Partey. But United would probably have to give me about 250 million to make that happen. But we'd win the league next year. Dubsy with the super chat says, Adam bro, this is the first time since Fergie's gone that I've actually gone into a transfer window. Relax, stay strong, brother. Thank you very much for getting involved. I am, of course, I'm relaxed going into this window. I'm excited. I feel like Sancho's a definite, so that's worrying me a little bit, because if that doesn't happen, then there's only one way, and that's down. But I feel like Sancho's going to happen. So I'm hoping Grealish is going to happen, but I'm uncertain about that one. And I think we'll get our business done eventually. I think Ollie will get the business done. I do. Liz S says, has Pogba renewed? Pogba has not renewed just yet. Hasn't renewed at all. What did you miss? We've been discussing the Alexis rumours, which you can catch up with on the side there. We've also been discussing several clubs being in for Jack Grealish. United making contact with Lille's Gabriel, and Ghana being set for a championship loan. Sean Maxfield has joined AdamMcKola TV. Thank you very much to Sean for becoming a member of AdamMcKola TV. You can become a member by clicking that join button, and you'll get exclusive content along the way for helping support the cause, emojis and all that other stuff as well. So get clicking that join button. When do you think United will release the new home shirt? I'm not sure, but I heard rumours it's going to be the first week of August or something like that, but I'm not 100% sure. Someone mentioned it in the chat here yesterday, so maybe they're still in the chat right now and can let you know when that home shirt is going to be released. Joel says, is Sancho a def? I hope so. Well, he's not a definite. Don't take my word for it. I haven't got any in the know knowledge. I haven't got any inside knowledge, obviously. But if you look at the reliable reporters out there, the Fabrizio Romanos, the all those kind of guys, Ornstein, they all seem sure United are in for him. And I believe if United are in for him, we've got a big chance of getting him. Big chance of getting him. And Manny says, who would you give the number 7 and 11 shirt to next season? 7 goes to Sancho, 11 goes to Grealish, hopefully. 4th of August for the shirt, says Paul B. Star says, I can see Grealish going Arsenal, who need him more than us for their starting 11. But can they afford him? That's the thing. And they haven't got European football at the moment unless they win the FA Cup. Can you do a video mentioning all our players and say where you think they will be at the end of the window? Oliver, I can do a video on the players that are potentially leaving. Yes, that's something that I've got lined up as well. I've also got another video coming up for you guys tomorrow, as well as the late night video United Daily Live. We have got Master Debaters coming up as well with me, Jay and Joel very soon, as well as loads of other bits and bobs coming up for you. So make sure you're keeping it liking, comment and sharing. Shane's in the comments says, Sancho, Grealish and Didi, how would you rate that as a summer transfer window? I'd say 8 out of 10. I still think we need a defender, but that, Sancho would be a 10 out of 10 signing, Grealish would be a 10 out of 10, and Didi would be a 10 out of 10 signing. I'd just rate it at 8 out of 10 because I feel like we need a defender as well. But each of those players would be amazing to be signed. Keelan's watching from Perth. What do you think about the rumours taking Martial out the front three with Greenwood taking over if we get Sancho? There's rumours about that. I think there's just some poor opinions in relation to that. I don't think Anthony Martial will be taken out of that 9 spot anytime soon. Of course, he's going to have to fight for his spot, and he's going to have to fight for his spot with Mason Greenwood, Odion Igalo, whoever else comes to Manchester United. But anyone talking about replacing him or selling him is daft to me. Anthony Martial has shown clear signs of improvement. For me, he's been our player of the year this year. A vitally important player for us. We play better when he plays up front. You see the likes of Rashford, Greenwood all come alive when he plays. He's struck up great partnerships with the likes of Bruno, Rashford, as we've seen. Those two have connected more than anyone in the Premier League, any partnership before. And I think when you look at Anthony Martial, he's maturing, he's scoring the goals that we know he can score. He's a clinical finisher, but he's doing the all-round work now. So I don't know why people are quick to get on his back. You see Gary Neville talking about it as well, saying, this, that and the other about Anthony Martial getting replaced. Let's be real, if Anthony Martial was English, Gary Neville wouldn't be saying any of those things. If Anthony Martial came through the ranks at Man United, he wouldn't be saying any of those things. So, I think it's simple. Anthony Martial is here to stay. Anyone that comes in is going to have to fight him for his spot and take it off his hands. And it looks like he's up for that fight at the moment. So, happy days. Ferran Torres for 20 million plus add-ons versus 100 million for Sancho. Do you think City got the better deal? One's a defender, bruv. What are you talking about? Torres is a highly rated player. I haven't seen enough of him, but one's a defender. United should walk away from the Grealish deal and try and get Upamecano. Grealish is a great player, but 80 million for him is mad. Says Azar. United won't be paying £80 million if we get Grealish. I think that's for sure. And it looks like they are prepared to walk away from any potential deal at that price as it stands. So great stuff for them. Guys, get your comments, get your likes, get your shares, get your super chats, and get joining AdamMcKola TV right now. We have got a couple of minutes left of this stream as we're looking around. Let's see if there's any other news that's broke in the last couple of minutes, as they usually do with the newspapers and stuff coming out. Let's have a look. The latest on Sanchez, though, there's a willingness from all parties to try and reach an agreement for Alexis Sanchez to join Inter Milan permanently. Unless he can be persuaded to take a hefty pay cut, United may have to swallow a payoff. So, you know, we may have to pay off Alexis Sanchez, but it looks like a deal for him could be done very, very soon. Let's have a look. Let's Google Manchester United. Click news. Anything popping off? Nothing popping off. 10 hours ago on Sky, though, they said this. Man United are growing increasingly confident a deal can be done with Borussia Dortmund for the transfer of Jadon Sancho after cooling interest in Jack Grealish. Discussions for Sancho centre around the transfer fee and structure of payments. It is understood personal terms will not be an issue. Dortmund are holding out for £109 million, 120 million euros, but United are unwilling to go that high given the financial hit that they and many others have taken during the pandemic. The German club also want in the region of 90.5 million as an immediate payment, and for the deal to be resolved by the time their pre-season training camp in the Swiss spa town of Bad Ragaz begins on August the 10th. So, United confident of making a Jadon Sancho deal happen, but have cooled off a little bit in terms of Jack Grealish. But I think that cooling off on Jack Grealish is simply serving the ball back into his court and saying, well, you have to make Villa know we're not paying that much. Go in there, get the price down for us, get your tears on, tell them you want to leave, and we'll come in and do a deal hopefully very, very soon. But guys, let us know what you're thinking about all those things in the comments. Make sure you're keeping it locked. Like, comment, share, subscribe. My voice is going now, so I'm going to shoot. But thanks for tuning in. You lot have been legends. I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of it.